Well, that's what I'm asking. So, would you have said that we not adopt this system at all? Because if you ask some other people, they say if you're talking about literacy level, at least the people understand the symbols of the party. Hopefully, because they're hoping that political parties would have done their jobs around the country alongside INEC. But do you think that would have been more advisable?
Yeah, I think considering we're just I can tell you in the last 10 years people were being almost lured into accepting this new system of governance, which is democracy. That it has come to stay. Now we are moving into a more sustainable system of democracy. We don't need to overload the people so that they don't get frustrated in the process. Elections and democracy is a game that people must buy into, enjoy it, celebrate it. So if it becomes cumbersome, you see that people will lose their interest. If people go there in the morning and then they can't read that and they are not working, they are likely to be frustrated. Whether they will come back in the afternoon to vote is a question to be answered after the election.
Do you think that the process used in 2011 was cumbersome?
The process used in 2011 is whereby people, it was an improvement, but you still, you remember a lot of people were not able to find their names on the ballot display voters list, and in some cases people found their names, in distant places other than where they registered. This has not been addressed. Nobody today will say that yes, 100% or even 80% that display of voters list has been confirmed and people are happy. We are talking about political parties, we're talking about the INEC here or the security. What about the voters themselves? What do they say? What have they done? How far have they confirmed that yes, they are ready to go there, look at their name, tick their names, pass through the process, vote, and go back home or even stay? So these are some of the things that, or ordinary Nigerians should be, worried about. Because my take is if the voters are frustrated in any way, it will affect not just the election itself, but the result, the outcome of the election. So you need to marry this. Why we're talking about colors, we're talking about forms, we're talking about card reader. Let's talk about the patience, the understanding, the tolerance of the ordinary Nigerian voter.
Are you worried that some have said that your party may not or will not get the kind of votes they got the last time?
No, we're not worried because I can tell you today, ordinarily within Nigeria, I can say that we have overwhelming support and intended voters who are ready to vote. My worry is if they are not allowed, because of the nature of the process, to cast these votes, they will be frustrated. That is what worries me.
Yeah, but they've always said time and again, look, if you have your permanent voter cards and you get there, if you swipe the card and it authenticates that it is an INEC card, the next stage is to check your biometrics, your thumbprint, and if you can't succeed with that one, they'll give you the forms.
Yeah, if you succeed. If you don't succeed, you resort to fill in a form. And if the person is not literate enough to fill a form, and you rely on one INEC.
We're told that it is INEC officials that will fill the form, not the individuals.
Good. The INEC officials will fill the form, and then you have just 5 hours, to do all that.
Don't forget that they also said if they're not able to, if they lose time, if the elections cannot get done that day, you continue the next day. How about that?
Yeah, that would be fine. But when you consider look, let's not talk as if we are living in a strange world. We are all in Nigeria. That people, you are now considering whether the people will stay there after voting. Now you are saying people will come there by 8 o'clock today, and then they wait till next morning. They will continue on. What I understand is that after accreditation,
they don't have to wait till the next morning.
People. Everybody online must vote. But you didn't say everybody there must be accredited, because you said from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. You have 5 hours for this process. No matter the number of people that get this accreditation, by 1 o'clock the accreditation will end. Then the voting will start. And it is now you are giving the extra time for voting, not extra time for the accreditation.
No, but he also says that if you lose time with accreditation, there will be time, all of those will be made up. And because they explain this time and again, so they say they've done all that they can to ensure that the entire process is credible.
Of course, we did that also. We ensured that the INEC, as a government, as a party in government, we ensured that INEC was given all they needed to make sure that all these things worked out perfectly. And now we are at the last minute of the election, and INEC yesterday is giving these assurances. That's okay by us, but what we're saying is, as Nigerians, as a party that have supporters, and as supporters who are willing to go and vote for their party, we are concerned whether this time and the process, will not be frustrating for the ordinary Nigerian voter to vote. That's all we're saying. But we are ready for this, so people must be patient. The message there is that Nigerians must be patient, to take the extra pain, to endure, to stay, to take through the process, because it is a revolution that is going to take our people into the next democratic level. So that's the message we keep saying. They should pass through the pains, take their time, go through it, get until you vote.
Have you passed this message you're saying now, have you passed the message down to your supporters, and how has it been received?
We do.
Well, anyway,
we have taken voter education. We have been able to impact on them that this is a new process. It has not been tested in Nigerian election. So we expect that it's going to take extra add pressure on everybody, both the INEC, both the voters, both the party, but that at every point our members, our supporters must be patient to go through the process. That's the only way we can, achieve the success that it is expected of us.
Well, very quickly, Professor, let's take you to a concern you shared, talking about the physically challenged. You talked about those who are physically challenged, as well as those who are visually impaired.
Yes.
And these are some of the cases that they have raised on this program and within the National Assembly, where you also have members of your party there, as well as the opposition. Yes. How come that this same worry and concern you share with us this morning hasn't actually been pushed by your party to include the physically challenged as well as the visually impaired in the electoral process of our nation?
Well, you said it has been mentioned, and we have pushed as a party, and as government, we have also, the government of led by the party has also made significant, progress in pushing. But, acts of the National Assembly, on this nature of things is not, because we are not a one-party nation, and we don't have a head of state. We have a president, and then we have other institutions that support governance. So with that, I think it's a process. Not just this. We're also talking about the voting of the Nigerians in diaspora who have not been able, irrespective of their number. We have about 23 million Nigerians living outside Nigeria who do not have right to vote today. So as a party, we are moving, we are pushing, we are bringing on table some of these concerns and challenges. And we believe that given the next 4 years, we will come to a point where we begin really to address these things, other than addressing the interests of foreign nations.
Well, other than the issues that you've raised, do you think that what has been introduced will at least enhance the integrity of the elections to a great extent?
Yes, and that was why we have supported INEC. The PDP administration have supported INEC. We financed INEC, giving INEC the free hands, giving them the encouragement, to be able to perform. But you cannot talk about the credibility of INEC without saying that the government in power is credible enough to accept the responsibilities to push these things, irrespective of what some members, are feeling. So I think it is a process that has come to stay. It will eventually progress. It will come to a stage where Nigerians will begin to appreciate what the party, because we are talking about INEC. It's not just INEC. It is the PDP administration that has led to this, tremendous political process and the democratic civilization in Nigeria.
All right, Professor Nick Ezeh, thank you for speaking with us today on the program.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, so there you have it. Professor Nick Ezeh is of the PDP's Presidential Campaign Organization. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.